Well, Greg, if you're comfortable, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of give my report, and then if for some reason we get another member, a voting member that pops on here, then we'll go back and open up the meeting. But
Yep, great.
if not, so again, what we do in situations when we don't have a quorum, we have no official meeting, no official action can be taken. What I'm going to do is just for informational purposes, kind of just give my airport manager's report, just to give you, you know, again, appreciate those that have dialed in, and if we don't end up having a meeting, we'll do it again in 2 months. But so just a couple of things on the, you know, we are in the design, working with the engineer in the design process for the runway extension project. As I explained at the last meeting, there's multiple steps that we have to go through with MDOT and FAA. We are in what's called the IFE step, which is the independent fee evaluation. So that is currently going on, and this is basically a second engineer that we have hired to review the scope of work and the hours of work and the fees from the primary engineer that will be doing the design work. So this is a process that the FAA requires based on the value of the contract and those type of things. So once the IFE is done, if the two engineering proposals are off by 10% or more, then we've got to work it out and make adjustments and negotiate changes and those type of things. So that's where that process is. Just some things going on. If you've been at the terminal lately, you'll see that I'm actually admitting Chief Harshberger, but unfortunately he's not a voting member. So we'll let him in. I think he's just checking to make sure Pat is in attendance. So if you've been in the terminal building lately, you see we've put new flooring throughout the first floor. That project is complete. Recently, we also purchased the new lobby furniture for the terminal. Those pieces actually, some of those pieces are allow for charging, electric for charging. We have not hooked that up yet. We've got our waiting for our our electrician to come in and put in a new floor box for us so we can attach those and electrify it. But looks good. We've got some positive comments on it. So again, just trying to make some improvements. Chief, I know you just joined. I'm just giving a report because at this point we do not have a quorum for the meeting. So I'm just giving an update, just my airport manager's report. And then we'll see if we need one more voting member to have a quorum. So.
Sounds good, thanks.
Yep. So a couple other things. We've submitted for 2 reimbursable grants, one through ARPA for the airport and one through the AIP. These aren't big dollar grants, but the AIP one is actually reimbursing some money that we put out of pocket for the environmental assessment process. That's about 30 grand or so. And then we have an ARPA grant that we had been approved for. We submitted for payment about $59,000 on that. So a couple of other projects. We are working with our engineering department. We're going to be doing a repaving of the terminal parking lot, probably May or June of this year. We did the initial entrance last year as you're coming directly in from Airport Boulevard, and then we'll finish up the parking lot. It's a mill and fill project where they'll just come in and mill 2-3 inches down and place new asphalt there. So again, just trying to make improvements where we can. We'll also be scheduling probably May or June our annual. We do crack sealing every year in the airfield. That is, we do 1/3 of the airport each year. So every 3 years, we've completely done all the paved surfaces on the airport. This spring's project will be taxiways, Bravo, Charlie, the ramps for the terminal ramp, fuel ramp. And so that's what's on the schedule for this year. once we get closer to dates, we send a notification out to all the tenants and the FBOs just to make sure they're aware of what the process is, and something we've been doing for probably 15 years. So I think everyone's kind of used to it already. Last thing I had on my list is just we've been working with the tower and the FAA about doing some advanced planning for the upcoming solar eclipse, which is scheduled for April 8th, as well as the NFL draft, which will be held in Detroit at the end of April. Those are both events, even though we're not in the direct 100% path of the eclipse. The FAA is anticipating some pretty significant visitors to Southeast Michigan, as well as Northern Ohio. But so we are just taking a look at our capacities and our processes and planning with the tower and the FBOs on, how to address if we do get a significant influx of people. If we're generating a lot of interest, are we going to get into, reservations and those type of things, so we just don't overwhelm the infrastructure. So those are all things that are going on. We're expecting less impact for us for the draft, but that is something that I think the FAA is estimating will bring in approximately 300,000 people into Southeast Michigan. So it's pretty significant. And I think, and Chad, you can correct me if I get it wrong, I think FAA is expecting 500,000 people flying or coming into Southeast Michigan for the eclipse. So pretty significant, influxes of people. Not sure exactly what we'll see out of that. It's interesting to see what some of the Northern Ohio airports are doing. I'm getting flyers for solar watch parties and food trucks and live music and camping and stuff like this. So it's there's quite a bit going on. I actually got one the other day for Sandusky County Airport, where if you want to fly into there, you've got to pre-reserve your spot for $100 for your parking spot for your aircraft. So it's interesting to see what's going on. So that is all I had under my report. Mr. Chair, we still don't have any additional voting bodies. I don't know if you want to wait any longer. We're 15 minutes past our start time, or if we just call it a night and push everything to the next meeting.
Yeah, I think we don't want to, it's because of the agenda and what we had on, there's not anything that's going to push, and we got one in 2 months. So I think we can call this one on that.
The one thing I do want to note for not only our members, but our guests, our May meeting is our in-person meeting of the year. So the May meeting will be at the 801 Airport Drive in the lower level of the terminal building. Public and obviously members are encouraged to attend, but the public is also welcome. But that is the one meeting we're going to hold this year that will be an in-person meeting. So that's the May meeting.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Okay.
That's all I have.
Nothing to adjourn. Let's see. The May meeting is scroll.
May 15th.
May 15th.
Same time, just a different location.
There you go.
All right. Well, for those who you have taken the time out this evening, I appreciate that. And I apologize that we weren't able to get a quorum tonight. But just look at it this way. There's a little bit of sunshine out there, even though it's cold and windy, and you'll get a little bit of your day back. So thank you all.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.